Want to stand out in the pharma industry? Discover this one hack that can skyrocket your personal brand and open the door to new opportunities.
Building on that, actually, what is the best way to build a personal brand in pharma? I know growing up, my mum used to say to me, David, you want to work to a point where, you never have to submit a resume because people, they know, they hear your name and I want him on my team. I don't need to forget your resume. Yeah, how can people build that profile?
I think first by recognizing that you are a brand.
Okay.
So first by saying, brand Britland or brand Tong, I'm an individual, I've got a brand. A brand is like a bank account. You've got to continuously invest in it. You've got to continuously put more in than you take out. So think about that. Don't ever let anybody down. Always get back to people. Don't try and do things you can't do. You've got to appreciate that you'll get to a point where people are scrutinizing you. When I was in MAPA, as the president and vice president, I had scrutiny, and I tried to make sure that I really put a lot back into everything I did. So every podcast I did, every webinar, everything I led, I researched. It's just like being an actor or something like that. Don't be in a crap movie. Think about where you put yourself. Think about this as a profession, and professional networking and professional brands means that you can spend years and years and years and years developing your professional standing, and you can lose it very quickly by dropping a significant ball. So be professional, but think of yourself as a brand. You've got to get the buy-in of people. Don't rub people up the wrong way.
If this hack resonates with you, hit subscribe to Finding Pharma, because like a good neighbour, we're here with new weekly advice, minus the awkward barbecue conversation.
I know people think it might be cool to be arrogant, and people think it might be cool to put people down. It might give them the edge. You don't make your candle any lighter by blowing, somebody else's out, right? So think about that, because that person could be the one that interviews you in a few years' time. It's a small world.
Yes.
And there's never any reason to belittle anybody else. You'll never find anybody belittling you that is more productive than you. You'll only ever find people with less productivity belittling you. It works intrinsically like that. And remember that, because people will remember the ones that have backed them and the ones that have been nice to them and the ones that have been pleasant. And it's something I've learned over the years to get much better at. I talk much less. I remember one of my mentors, he said you need to be less sumo and more judo in your approach, more strategic. And actually, one of the best advice I got, because I was always in meetings very reactive, and I used to get, people used to agitate me, I used to react, and I just started writing things down. So I took a book in, and then every time I had a reaction, I started just writing it down, and then I'd think about it, and 60-70% of the time, I would just not talk. And I'm still not very good at it, but you need to get better at it. But yeah, think about all of them things in your brand.
That's great philosophy, not just for networking, building personal brand, but actually life.
Yes.
Less sumo, more judo. That is a pearl. I'm going to take that with me for forever.
Curious about must-read resources for pharma professionals? Our final part in this series has all the inspiring picks you need.